We are live. So I am super excited to go live with you guys today to actually share our Saturday morning date. A lot of people have asked us about our Saturday morning dates or our morning dates, and we wanted to bring you guys just a series on Saturday mornings and spend our date morning with everybody here talking about business, talking about entrepreneurship. And it's just going to be super casual. We're just going to talk, share business tips, relationships. If you are in business, I want you to put in the chat what business you're in. Are you in home services? Do you do cleaning? Do you do lawn care? One of the biggest questions that Chris and I get all the time is, how do I do business with my spouse, my partner, my significant other? Or how do I have those difficult conversations? How do we get aligned? Someone posted today, how do I know my role when I'm in business with my spouse? And so we thought that it would be super fun and interesting to do our Saturday morning dates with everybody, and just talk through it and give tips, give advice, on what we talk about, on how we've grown. We've grown substantially as people, and it took a lot of work and a lot of time to do that. Or if you just want tips on running your cleaning business or running your lawn care, you can put those you can add those to the comments. I am just sharing this in a few places so we can get started. And but I'm super excited to be here. And for those of you that may follow me that don't know me that much, my name is Libby DeLucian. I own a cleaning company, an organizing company, and I also own Woot Recruit and Service Cards. And Chris?
And I'm Chris. I help out inside of Woot Recruit as a product and tech. So you see me behind the scenes. Sometimes I jump into those calls and help co-host with Libby on for Woot Recruit at least.
And what do you do for Woot Recruit, Chris?
So my spiel is, I guarantee tactics are properly implemented so that people can effectively execute.
Awesome. So we have started doing these things called date mornings, and because we have kids, so if you're an entrepreneur and you have kids, totally get it, understand it. And we struggled to work on our relationship. Like sometimes I'm working on me and he's working on him, but working on us. We struggled with it for a long time. And then we heard of this thing called date mornings, and we really took off with it. And what that is it's just like having a date in the evening, but we're having it at like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, depending on what's going on. And it's been one of the greatest things that's really helped our relationship, because it's given us that time together without our kids. Consistently. What was today? What number date morning was today?
Oh gosh, it was 284.
Yes. So today was date morning 284. It's our 284th date this since last June. We started this in June of 2023. So there's only 365 days in a year. So we've been pretty consistent, wouldn't you say?
Except for some sick days and heavy rain days.
Yeah. Sick days. Sometimes he has to drag me out of bed. Most of the time he has dragged me out of bed. He's been better at getting up than I have. But what do we talk about? So if you want to learn anything, what are the things that we're working on to grow as entrepreneurs? One of the biggest struggles that we have faced and found is like, how do you know your role? How do I know my role? What am I supposed to be doing? Or what's your responsibility? And one of the greatest things about small businesses is we can bring our family and our spouse into it, but it's also one of the hardest things to do.
Yeah.
So I'd love to hear from anybody watching, listening, like you guys have questions about our date mornings, or even how do we work together as spouse, husband and wife. It didn't work well at first.
It was rough. Yeah.
How was it at the beginning?
Well, most of it was on me. The date mornings with, it actually used to be flipped with.
No, when we started working together.
Oh yeah. That was horrible. Not because we didn't try, but it was, before we really knew the rhythm of what really works and what doesn't, just with partnerships in business. So I think I bounced around to every position imaginable in Organize It and in Woot Recruit too. But before that, Organize It, I got fired from about 6 or 7 different positions until finally settled into something and had that aha moment.
And it's not easy, I will say, but once you work on it, and it's a constant evolution of working on it. Once you're working on it, it can be an amazing, absolutely amazing thing. So what did we do on our date morning this morning? Do you want to tell everybody what we did?
Yeah. So we did things a little bit outside of the box because we had actually a little mini date dinner at Cantina Laredo last night, and we noticed, oh, there's a 5K run celebration of Cinco de Mayo. So we ended up last minute shifting our date morning to doing a 5K run, and we're like, you know what, we got Yaya to take care of, so figured she'd have fun, bring her along. So we ended up doing a 5K out there with Yaya, running along. So her first 5K run, actually legitimately running, not just play running for 10 seconds, but legitimately running, or at least interval running.
We did interval running, guys. We didn't run the whole time with her because she couldn't make it. But it was great to be out and to take her, and it was different. So it allows us to be, because we have that time blocked, which is intentional time. It allows you to be spontaneous, to just change things on a whim. Like we were gonna do our date morning this morning, but we're like, hey, let's run a 5K instead. So it allows you to, because that time is set aside. So no matter if you're doing it with your partner, you can bring your kids or you can't, but it's been great. In our date morning, we walk with coffee, but you don't have to walk with coffee. You don't have to run. You can have breakfast with your partner. You can read the newspaper. You can read books together. You can go to the hot tub together. It can be anything. But the great part about it is that, for me, my favorite part is that I get to talk about my business without complaining about my business to my spouse. I want to know, whoever's watching this or watching the replay, how many times has your partner or spouse said, oh my God, like, stop complaining? Or they constantly ask us, why are we complaining about our business? But the date mornings have given me the outlet to talk about my business, the ideation of it, the creation side, the excitement part, the planning, when we're having that intentional time aside. And I'm not complaining about my business. So he loves to listen to it now, versus before it was like, why are you always complaining about the same thing over and over and over? Because that's like the excited time. Your brain gets moving.
And that's a great point, because we never actually went deep. Like if you're talking about it throughout the day and we're passing, or you're frustrated and you say something, you don't actually get into the conversation or deep into it. And so it's just, all you hear is kind of that in passing, that frustration, but there's no real, tell me why, what's going on. Let's think through it. And that sort of thing. I think that's what we get out of the date mornings, is that ideation, like you said, but diving deep into, the certain topics. So I think it ends up being a little bit more collaborative, and
Absolutely.
we both benefit from it, really. I mean, that's where our biggest ideas came from.
Yes, our biggest ideas come from. And then also personal ideas, planning family trips. And from our date morning, we planned the family trip to Cancun, where we took our whole family and my parents. We planned it on that date morning, like I said, we're going to do this. Because once the day starts, if you're an entrepreneur, whether your spouse is helping you or not, it is a consuming job all day. You're worried about it. There's things going on. And essentially it's just that devoted time set aside for you to talk to your partner, for your spouse. But it's been great. We've really enjoyed it. Like I said, we're on number 284 today. Chris, what was your goal? You said you wanted to get to 300?
Yeah, I have it marked on my calendar for 300.
300.
If we don't miss a day.
So we'll miss days because I travel a lot for work, but we do them on the phone or through FaceTime when I'm traveling. So we still have that time set aside and still talking. But we've missed some here and there because if I'm on a plane at that time, or I was sick a few months ago for quite a few weeks. So we missed a few days here and there as well. But I see we have a few people listening. We're streaming to everything from Instagram to YouTube to Facebook and different places. So we wanted to really just share. We wanted to be open and share who we are, because we hear all these people talk about like speed, and speed is the new currency. You know what? Authenticity is the new currency. And so I want you to know who Libby is even more. and Chris,
Mm-hmm.
as we continue on this entrepreneur journey. And we have amazing time working together, but we also have some really shitty times as well. So we want to share them with you, like the struggles, like what's going on from having like employees take over like 2 weeks ago, and like employee drama that took an entire week of my time, and 1,500 meetings later, to know that it was just a whole bunch of gossip, to spending 2 hours on a Friday night getting Gorilla Glue out of my daughter's hair, is the life that we're living right now. So
it ain't perfect.
It's not perfect. And we just wanted to share it and think that it was fun to like just share who we are. Cause authenticity is priceless. And so whether you're doing business with us or following with us or watching our YouTube channel or our podcast, I have a great podcast. I have had the time of my life recording this podcast called Fearlessness. We're just interviewing CEOs of companies. But just sharing that journey has been amazing. So we're going to do this every Saturday morning. Well, not every. Take it back.
I think
we're going to try to do this every Saturday morning, because if I'm not here, if I'm traveling, it will be hard. But we haven't created a name for this. So Chris is like, Saturday morning dates. I'm like, in business. Or I'm like, co-preneurs, like couples in entrepreneurism. If you could think of a cool name for our Saturday morning dates in business, because that's kind of boring, we would love, like, drop it in the comments, shout it out, or message it to me, because we want to try to do this every Saturday to be consistent and just share the journey. Like I said, some days and weeks are wild and some are amazing. And that's kind of the fun of it.
Yeah. And I think a word that might help put it together is it's going to be a practice.
Oh, yes. It's going to be a practice, is for sure. I see Aaron on here watching. Oh, I'm missing some comments.
Yeah, I see Joanne.
Oh, Joanne.
Fellow Floridian.
Oh, and who?
Helena.
Helena. Oh, Helena. Oh, yes. Discuss business as cleaning business owners. So yes, I do own, I'm pretty sure it's Helena Garcia. That's my maiden name, Helena. Yes, I own a cleaning company, Helena, believe it or not. And it's, I started my cleaning company quite a while ago, at the end of 2017. And it's been a great journey. It's how I stumbled upon owning Woo Recruit and Service Card. I owe everything back to my little cleaning company. And it's been amazing. And we can talk about that. I'm also very familiar with home service companies. If anyone here is like in lawn care and landscaping, I was in Jonathan Potoshnik's elite class, so I know way more about lawn care than anybody should know that owns a cleaning company. But just business in general, because at the end of the day, all business is the same, whether you're running a software or a SaaS company or a home service company or commercial cleaning company. It's all the same. We have the same struggles, the same problems, and we also have the same wins and celebrations. So we want to just talk about those. So Helena says, I love learning from others in the same industry and connecting. Well, I love learning as well, Helena. So that's great. And then she's good. Oh, yep. Bad, good, bad, and still learning. So this is great. We'll drop our handles to all of our social media sites, because Helena asked about the YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel for Organize It, my cleaning company. And let me tell you what, if you home service businesses are not utilizing YouTube, you are missing the boat. We have gotten tons of customers through my YouTube channel. I do it every Monday morning. Again, not every. I try. When I was sick, I missed. When I was sick, I missed a Monday. Every Monday morning, I get up, because if it's the most important thing, it's the first thing we should do. I used to schedule my videos for Thursday, but then life happens. Kids get sick. Employees quit. Like, customers complain. Life happens, and I would never get to my YouTube videos. And finally, I just said, if it's the most important thing, it's the first thing I'm going to do. I actually read it in Be Your Future Self Now. And so I said, okay, Monday is blocked out. If you guys follow me, you know what my calendar looks like, because I share it all the time. I blocked it out, and I've been consistent doing those Monday videos for Organize It, my cleaning company. And we have grown exponentially through our YouTube channel. I've gotten great tips from some of my mentors when it comes to the videos and YouTube, but it has really changed the level of our leads. It's also given content for my office team and sales team to give to our leads, to give us more authority. Like one of the best videos I did that got a ton of views was like, what's the average cost of cleaning, of a house cleaning? And I ranked top on Google for like a month. I lost it now because it's like a battle. You got to keep fighting. But I ranked number one on Google, like anywhere in the United States, for what's the average cost of a house cleaning. And then the next one that ranked really well is what's the difference between a solo cleaner and a professional cleaner. And I use that article all the time and drop it in Facebook groups. I know all you business owners are in Facebook groups and see people asking for like, I need a lawn care guy, I need a plumber, I need a house cleaner. I use those links to our blog articles that I make and drop them in. And there is no competitor in your area doing that. And it really legitimizes you, Helena, as a company. As like, and if you saw my videos at the beginning, they are horrible. So don't, you can't, you can't be great when you start. You have to start to be great. So I don't edit nothing, Helena. I just shoot it on my little camera and I post it. I don't edit it.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be here right now.
Otherwise, it wouldn't go up. So that's great. Great question. And yes, and if you want to learn more, feel free you can always follow me on social media. I'm trying to keep up where all the comments are. There's comments everywhere. Are you on my professional site?
Oh, on Facebook, yeah.
Oh, okay. Not professional site. I'm at Facebook. But that has been great. And so what videos are you talking about now? So the videos I talk about in my home service company, Helena, are, and so many people say, but Libby, like we just clean houses. Like what am I going to clean it? What am I going to talk about? So no matter if you're in lawn care, you're in plumbing, you're in whatever, you could talk about like this week, I talked about like how dirty was my luggage when I came back from flying.
That was a good one. Yeah.
And that one got like a ton of traction and views. And it was filthy because I actually recorded myself cleaning it. But you can talk about, because if you're in home service, you can talk about anything that benefits the home. It doesn't have to necessarily be the service you provide. Like I cover hoarding, right? We do professional organizing and cleaning, but we don't do hoarding jobs. I used to back when I was in the field, but if you're a plumber, you could talk about the benefits of keeping your bathroom clean, of keeping your bathtub clean. You don't have to always just talk about plumbing or the lawn care or the cleaning. It's the benefit of the home. You can also invite guests on locally in your service area if you want to talk about or interview them to talk about how they can help take care of the home. What benefits can a house cleaner bring? What benefits can the plumber bring? So my YouTube channel for your home service people has been amazing. And the one thing I have to say about YouTube, it is the healthiest social media platform that exists because it's healthier than TikTok. It's healthier than Facebook. It's healthier than Instagram. Because one, it's been around for a long time. And two, there's no threat of it going down. So we're not by focusing on that YouTube and then we disperse to social media. It keeps your content safe and that it's going to be around for a long time. And I see Douglas is just tuned in. Thanks, Douglas, for coming in. But Helena, I thought hopefully that helps answer your questions on the videos and that kind of stuff. And she said, yes, I agree. I've learned so much from YouTube. See, YouTube is one of the healthiest channels. So, just feel free to follow our channel. The videos that I'm doing, they're public. They're on our blog page. I am no means an expert. I am learning. I just actually enrolled in a YouTube coach. So we're going to see how that works out. And I have no means to monetize on YouTube. I just want to grow my service business with YouTube. So I'm not sure. I don't see any more comments or suggestions, but we have some people over on Instagram watching.
Bring Us and Sons.
Bring Us and Sons. So Bring Us and Sons. Oh, I'd love to know what you do. I have a ton of people that follow us that are business owners. So if you're in different industries, we're happy to share. But one thing I would like to just cover before we end, how long have we been on? Is there a timer?
20 minutes.
Okay. 20 minutes. There's a timer. Is what do you want to hear about? Like, if you're an entrepreneur, right? Just because I own a SaaS company doesn't mean that I'm out of touch with my home service business or my relationship. Someone asked me the other day, I was doing a coaching call with one of the CBF members. And if you guys don't know what CBF, it's Cleaning Business Fundamentals by Debbie Sardone. But I was just doing a coaching call, and she's like, Libby, how do you do it? Like, you have your service company, you have 2 softwares, you have a great marriage, you've lost weight. I've lost weight, by the way. Like, I've lost 50 pounds in the last 3 years, changing my weight loss. She goes, man, you look perfect. And I'm like, it's not perfect. And I said, what better thing to do than come and just share with others how not perfect it is. So, but we would like to hear, what do you want to hear about? Do you want to hear about like our weight loss or not? Nope. I got put in my place. It's not a weight loss journey. It's a health journey.
Yeah.
I said, I have Dan Martell as my, as a personal coach. And I was on a call with him, and we were sharing our wows and wins. I said, I lost blah, blah, blah. And he goes, you don't lose it. Because if you lose it, you're going to find it. It's a health journey. I was like, yes, sir. So, do you want to hear about our health journey, our date mornings, how we work together in business as entrepreneurs? Do you want to hear about how we run our service business? Do you want to hear about how I created the software or a SaaS business? If I can create a SaaS business, I have no formal education. I was a house cleaner scrubbing toilets. And now I'm part of 2 softwares, 2 service. It's called a SaaS. It's a service as a software. I'm just some little Mexican and half Indian girl that grew up in Oklahoma that finished high school. And so that's why I want to share this, because I want to hear what you guys have to say. And how about you, Chris?
Yeah, no, I definitely think that even if it's not specific to business, just being able to share what we have going on with our lives, just what we went through with, me trying to figure out where I settle into entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
And all that good stuff.
So Chris, tell them, like, you had your own career and now you're in working with the business. Yeah.
So for a little over a decade, so about 12 years, I think, before the whole COVID thing, I was an audio engineer. So majority of my work was on the road, working as myself for myself, but through a company. So I was subcontracted. So I got to travel, tour, all that good stuff.
I was his groupie
with musicians. So I learned from a different perspective of more like the operational side in terms of, if you think about music and live events, amphitheaters, stadiums, all that good stuff is, just the coordination and things that have to happen for things to happen like seamlessly, perfectly, so that it's the perfect execution. And you don't see, hear, or know of anything going wrong. All you know is that curtains go down. It's just an amazing show. And then you leave and everything just seemed perfect and seamless. Figuring out how to execute without any error and to be able to fix that immediately if it does happen. That's kind of my background in just that high intensity world. I was just thinking this morning, I actually want to get a shirt made that says "Thrive in Chaos," because that's really what I do. Is I like when there's things to fix, when things aren't right or broken. I love that moment of chaos because I can figure out how to fix it really quick.
Coming from the calmest person I know, he likes chaos.
That's why I married you.
I was like, that's random. But Chris had his own career and worked for more than 10 years as an audio engineer for very, very big artists, toured all over the world. But, a lot of entrepreneurs bring their spouses into the business because they have a choice, because they can, because they want to retire their husband from their career and bring them into the business. But Chris got brought into the business not by choice. It was forced on him because of COVID. When COVID hit, he lost that whole career, that whole industry shut down. And so we've had to learn how to adapt out of survival to make this work versus a choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because it was 2 years that the live entertainment industry was gone because of COVID, literally gone. And through that time, you had, businesses and PPP loans and government supplements, but there was this small little section of the subcontracted self-employed that didn't really fit in any bucket. And so there wasn't legitimized support. They even went as far as the live entertainment companies tried to put together funds, although it was like really small, but they tried to put together funds for musicians and for the subcontracted people in the live entertainment industry because there was no outlet. And so when I was looking for work, as soon as it shut down, the two ways to go was, one, wait it out and see what happens, or two, pivot, change industries, figure it out and get it done. And so I tried the second one, which was pivot and change, but nobody really allowed me to do that locally.
No, he was too specialized and overqualified. Yeah.
I tried small, entry level jobs or mid-level, and they wouldn't. Again, it was like they were ghosting the companies were ghosting me. They weren't allowing me to get a job for the longest time.
No, and then he came to work for Organize It, and he tried all kinds of stuff, and I fired him. So if you cannot fire your own husband, do not bring him into the company. Someone asked me about, she wanted to know about bringing family or friends into our business, and it can be a beautiful relationship. I work with my mom, I work with my sister, I work with my son, I work with Chris, my husband. It can be a beautiful thing, but it also can be a horrible thing if you can't be open and honest with each other, because Chris came into the cleaning business. I think you tried sales at first.
Yep.
And I had to fire him from sales.
That one didn't last very long.
That didn't last very long. And oddly enough, you finally ended up helping the cleaners, and you actually enjoyed that part of it. But I don't think it filled your bucket.
No, I had recurring houses. Like I remember.
And the women loved him as a cleaner. They loved Chris. They wanted Chris. Everybody wanted Chris. But it didn't fill his bucket. So actually that didn't last very long either.
Mm-mm.
No. And then Paul, actually, one of my very good friends that helped me with Woo Recruit, wanted to bring Chris into Woo Recruit. And I was like, no, absolutely not. I'm not working with my husband. Because I'd already fired him from Organize It as even the cleaner. So I said, no, I'm not working with my husband. I had a past relationship for 14 years, and that was horrible, working with my ex-spouse. And I didn't want to ruin that this time. And it was pretty interesting because it's a different level of maturity that you have to get through, a different level of communication and knowing what each other wants. I see Gabe on here.
Yeah.
I was just talking to Faith the other day, and she was like, I asked her this on my podcast because she works with her husband. I was like, how are you guys making it work on the podcast? And she goes, we ask each other what we want. And I love that response. Like, ask each other what they want from the business, not from each other, but more from the business.
Mm-hmm.
Because the fact that we own it, we could give each other that, which is a great feeling. Chris, he has been in every role with Woo Recruit, and he's finally worked his way to the role of his dreams.
Mm-hmm.
But he was willing to help us build and work through it and learn. And now he gets to sit in that CTO role, which it's a software term. And if you guys don't know what it is, but it's a chief technical officer. So he supports the product and technology side of Woo Recruit. But he was willing to do the hard work and wait it out. So I call Chris an entrepreneur. Does anybody, you guys know what an entrepreneur is right now? It's a very hot buzzword, entrepreneur. And I think that a lot of entrepreneurs are married to entrepreneurs. And I think it's a great relationship. If you guys can bring that out in each other, is super fun. And I see Johnny Page on here watching me and Chris. Hi, Johnny Page. He's one of our mentors. So we're in SaaS Academy that's a software group, SaaS Academy, for mentorship of helping you build your SaaS. And when I started Woo Recruit, I had no freaking clue what the hell I was doing. No clue. I'm like, I am just some girl who stumbled upon this and I need to figure out help. I do the same thing with my cleaning company. And I started like researching, and all of a sudden here's Dan Martell's videos. Are you struggling? Is this you? And I'm like, oh my God, this guy knows who I am. And that's SAS Academy, and Johnny Page is one of the great coaches that help run SAS Academy. And hey, good morning, Johnny. Yeah, power couple. We're trying. But this has been great, guys. Again, if you guys are just jumping on, what we're doing is we're sharing our Saturday morning date with you. Many of you guys ask me about it, comment on my pictures, and we just want to share with you how we work our Saturday morning dates, which is just coming on and talking and sharing how our day was and brainstorming and answering each other's questions. So we want to be here to brainstorm and answer your questions.
Yeah. And I think over time, this is going to, like I said, it's a practice. So it's going to evolve. And I think we'll kind of bounce around on topics and be a little bit more loose here.
Yes.
The next couple and see what you guys want.
Yeah. And don't forget to comment if you have any ideas for the name of our Saturday morning. You could call it Sippin' Saturdays, but that's Roger Wakefield. I don't want to take his Sippin' Saturdays. Or I was like, ooh, coffee and conversation, but I'm not drinking coffee because we just ran a 5K. So I might hurl if I drink coffee. But I would love to come up with a fun name, do these as many times as I can on a Saturday morning if I'm not traveling. But hope you guys have a great weekend. I'm going to go finish organizing my garage.
And trying out a new electric
mower we bought for Austin, our 16-year-old who's going to mow the lawn. And we bought electric so he doesn't have to deal with the gas. Right. I'm
waiting for the lawn care guys to start commenting.
Yeah, the lawn care guys can start commenting. Please give me some advice on electric mowers. But we bought an electric mower for Austin, who's 16, because he's going to cut the yard. Yes, we can pay somebody, but child labor. I've got a 16-year-old. He needs to work. But if you have any other ideas, topics you want to talk about, we'll be on next Saturday, same time, same channel. Stay tuned. And thank you guys. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, guys.